Hogwarts Legacy is a dense game with lots of stuff to do and see, with many of its own little mysteries. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Gameranx, 20 secrets and Easter eggs from Hogwarts Legacy. Starting off at number 20, one of the biggest direct Easter eggs in the game, Snape in a box. Not a lot to this one, so it kind of sticks out. During the Room of Requirement quest, you're traveling through the mysterious halls filled with junk that leads to the room. You pass by a table with a portrait and a Jack-in-the-Box toy on it. The doll only pops out of the box for a few seconds, so it's easy to miss, but if you take a closer look, it becomes obvious that it's not just some normal Jack-in-the-Box, it's Severus Snape.
Memorably played by Alan Rickman in the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, figured I'd try to whip that one out for this. I don't know if that was good or not. Leave a comment. It was rewarding for me because it's kind of a real blink and you'll miss it type secret. At number 19, there's giant squid sightings in the game. There's a big old squid that lives in the Black Lake outside of Hogwarts Castle, common sight in the movies. So it's no surprise that this thing has multiple appearances in Hogwarts Legacy. You can see it during the race and fight class, and it sometimes just appears randomly while you're out exploring in the open world. That's not all. There's a more subtle reference to the giant squid's antics in the quest Scope's Last Hope, a Slytherin exclusive mission. There's a secret room you gotta enter, and in order to do it, you gotta find a mural of the giant squid and then, bizarrely, give it a piece of toast.
Why would I need a piece of toast? I suppose that's where it goes.
And this one might take a little bit of thought to get, but it's actually a reference for the time in Goblet of Fire where old Squiddy came around and ate Harry Potter's toast. I guess it's just canon that this thing loves toast. I don't know. The last giant squid sighting's my favorite. In the Slytherin common room, there's windows that look out at the Black Lake, and if you decide to knock on the glass a few times with the magic spell, the giant squid will knock back and slap the window with one of its giant tentacles. Like, there's a reason aquariums tell you not to do that. At number 18, there's a Fantastic Beasts reference at the very start of the game. When you're exploring the ruins near the cliff, you know what I'm talking about if you've started it up. There's a very easy to miss Easter egg. It's right out of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. It's near this cliff. You can find these dolls of the main character, Newt Scamander. There's a mandrake root and a niffler. One has a bottle and one has a bag of popcorn. Looks like they're set to watch something cinematic, right? Get comfortable, guys. It's gonna be a while. And number 17 is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. This Easter egg, first revealed on TikTok by @JonesSlytherin, looked somewhat questionable at first, but no, it's exactly what they say it is. West of Hogsmeade, there's a place called Coral Ruins. You can find this distinct-looking piece of wall art there. If it looks familiar, it's because it's nearly identical to the art from Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure from Universal Studios Orlando. Like, compare this hallway to the queue from the ride, The Line, where you wait forever. Now compare them. They're the same thing, pretty much. Part of the ride is also recreated in these ruins. At first, I thought it was just an interesting coincidence, but the similarities have to be intentional. The art's just way too close to anything other than a reference. They're the kinds of deep-cut Easter eggs we're looking at in the game. I think the designers might be slightly insane, which is actually great. And number 16 is an Azkaban adventure. It's not really an Easter egg per se, it's just part of the game, but it's one of the few major locations from the main series that you go to outside of Hogwarts, and the only players that will ever see it are Hufflepuffs. Early in the game, there's a specific quest that branches depending on your house. By far the most interesting is the Hufflepuff one, where you travel to the infamous wizard prison and investigate a cold case. It's basically just one big hallway, but everything we know about Azkaban is represented here. There's prisoners in stereotypical striped outfits. There's Dementors, the ghostly wardens. And it's just a really cool scene that you do not see if you don't pick Hufflepuff as your house. And number 15 is the Forgotten Forest Pond. During the quest Jackdaw's Rest, where you can travel into the Forbidden Forest to find a hidden cave, there's a small callback to the scene with Sirius Black, where Harry Potter casts a Patronus. The lake scene in the game looks almost identical to the one in the movie, and your character even makes a comment about a stag that walks by.
Something oddly solemn about this place. Such regal creatures, stags.
If you're not really paying attention, it can seem like a really random occurrence, but it's not. The stags are programmed to always be there, and your character always makes the comment, so it's really a reference to that scene. At number 14, there's secret rooms in the castle. You can make a whole video about all the little details and callbacks in Hogwarts, but let's talk about a couple of secret rooms. Biggest is the entire kitchen area. You can enter it by tickling the pear on a painting near the entrance of the Hufflepuff common room. Fully realized kitchen, tons of little details showing the house elves at work. Amazing. Another cool optional room found near the Slytherin common room. If your lockpick skill's high enough, you can find this banquette with a bunch of dancing ghosts. There's even a little unique scene where the headless ghost asks the other for a dance.
I'm going to do it.
You should, before the next century.
Oh, for heaven's sake, get on with it.
Milady, would thou takest my hand in dance?
One completely unnecessary but fun one is this small storage room near the Bell Tower courtyard filled with stone statues. There's also a painting in there that if you touch it, it turns you to stone.
Finite.
There's no reason for it, it's just cool. There's a lot of werewolves in the Harry Potter lore. There's none in this game except a statue in a hidden room in the basement of the clock tower wing. You can find a big statue of a werewolf and some drawings and a skull in there. Last secret room I want to highlight is mysterious, probably the most so. There's a room in the faculty wing with a secret hallway behind a fireplace that leads to a really elaborate hidden art room filled with drawings of the castle. If there's anybody more knowledgeable about Harry Potter and there is something to this, please leave a comment. Again, we would like to know. I'm not really sure if this is a real thing. At number 13, we talked about secret rooms. Let's talk some interesting details in Hogwarts. There's an interesting mural of a dragon in the central hall. It's not just random, it's actually depicting the school motto, never tickle a sleeping dragon. In the grand staircase wing, there's a statue of a one-eyed witch, which leads to a secret passage that was used by Harry and the prisoner of Azkaban to escape the school unnoticed. You can do the same thing in a certain side quest. Also grand staircase location oriented. If you're not a Hufflepuff and you try to get into their common room, just as described in the books, you will get doused with vinegar. Quite the smell. The Chamber of Secrets can't be accessed in this game, but you'll still find the secret entrance to it. You go to the bathroom near the Slytherin dorm and find the sink with the snake in it, which was used by Harry to unlock the secret entrance to the chamber. If you climb all the way to the top of the grand staircase, you find the trophy room, which contains, among other things, the Goblet of Fire.
Don't you put your name in the goblet of fire! Harry! Don't you put your name in the goblet of fire!
Also, if you manage to stumble upon the choir room in the bell tower wing, you might find something you recognize at the podium, the frog choir from the Triwizard Tournament.
Harry! Don't you put your name in the goblet of fire!
It's Muppet Dumbledore. At number 12, The Secrets of the Darkest Arts, Easter egg found in the restricted section of the library, a book called The Secrets of the Darkest Arts, which Sebastian Sallow will comment on during the mission, where you sneak into the library. What's noteworthy about the book is that it's a key part of the Harry Potter lore, the only book that describes how to create and destroy Horcruxes. Given how important it is in all of Harry Potter, it's pretty funny seeing it pass by so casually in this game, honestly. At number 11, the Fool's Mate in the Professor's Room. Another pretty small one, but requires a little explanation. If you ever notice the moves that the chessboards around Hogwarts make, it's always the same animation where a few pawns move and then the bishop, and that ends the game. This is a well-known move in chess circles. It's called the Fool's Mate, a chess maneuver that ends a chess game in the shortest possible amount of moves. It's just another one of the many, many charming little details hidden around the castle. At number 10 is Polyjuice Potion. Another amusing one is the callback to Chamber of Secrets. In that book/movie, Hermione brews a Polyjuice Potion in secret on the second floor girls' bathroom. Apparently, someone had a similar idea in this game's timeline because if you check in the girls' bathroom near Professor Fig's class, you can find a potion brewing in the toilet stall. At number 9, there's many optional interactions in Hogsmeade and beyond. The amount of optional little things you can do in Hogsmeade is totally out of control. Just in Zonko's alone, there's a giant jack-in-the-box with multiple animations. There's a big button that says don't push that creates magical explosions, and the bewildering can of mystery that has random effects whenever you open it. In Honeyduke's, the candy store, there's even more stuff like this. There's a wizard statue that conjures candy, a treat that makes you float, animal crackers that make you belch animal sounds, and pepper imps that make you breathe fire. There's a whole lot of little interactions like this in Hogsmeade, and I'm just scratching the surface. At number 8, Follow the Butterflies, another small movie reference. In Hogsmeade, you can take on a side quest called Follow the Butterflies, where that's exactly what you end up doing in the Forbidden Forest. It's a little quest reference to the Chamber of Secrets, where Harry and Ron have to follow spiders to find out the truth about Hagrid. During their adventure, Ron complains about it, saying, "Why couldn't it be Follow the Butterflies?" So that's literally what you're doing. It's little, but it's worth mentioning. And number 7 is Hagrid's hut. Hagrid isn't in the game, but you can still visit his hut. At this point in history, it's where beast classes are taught. But if you compare this place to Hagrid's hut in the movies, almost identical. The interiors and doors are built for regular humans, but the giant ceilings really give it away. At number 6 is Random Dragon Encounters. The giant squid isn't the only beast you can encounter in the wild. There's also dragons. These guys pop up extremely rarely in the open world when you're flying around. They'll swoop in out of nowhere and start a fire. So even though you never really fight a dragon in Hogwarts Legacy, they're still around. They're just not interactive, really. At number 5, there's a lot of weird, funny, silly type of random events, like a lot of them. It's kind of mind-blowing how many there are in this game, actually. And they're also easy to miss if you're not paying attention, so I'll go into a couple of my favorites real quickly. The conversation between Scope, the house elf, and Near Headless Nick. This scene in Hogsmeade, where a student is wearing enhanced shoes so they can't stop dancing, and there's these sword-fighting ghosts, it's very, very silly. The best one, though, is probably the one where randomly one of the suits of armor around Hogwarts attacks another one, smashing it to pieces just for no reason. It's really violent and it'll catch you off guard. At number 4, the locked cell above the Charms office. A pretty obscure one. If you ever get access to the office attached to the Charms classroom, you find an interesting little surprise. There's a spiral staircase that leads up to the roof. You can find some kind of jail cell. It's kind of unusual. So I looked it up, and it looks like it's a book-only reference. In the book version of Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius Black was locked up in a cell in the Charms office. This is a reference to that. I mean, what other reason would there be a prison cell connected to a random schoolroom? It's stuff like this that makes it pretty clear the game was made by the ultimate Harry Potter superfans. That's a pretty deep cut. And number 3 is the Deathly Hallows, a little more obvious, but still cool. During the third Keeper trial, you have to collect 3 mysterious objects, a cloak, a wand, and a stone. Anyone vaguely aware of Harry Potter can probably recognize these things. These are the Deathly Hallows, powerful magical artifacts that play a key role in the book of the same name. The first one you get is the Cloak of Invisibility, the second is the Elder Wand, the last is the Resurrection Stone. The quest's close association with death makes it pretty obvious what these things are supposed to be. These objects are literally said to have been made by death in the book, so there you go. At number 2 is snowman interactions, something I mentioned in the previous video, so I'll be brief. During the winter, you can find some snowmen around randomly in the open world. They can be a little tough to find, but if you spot one, try attacking them. They actually fight back by throwing snowballs. If you want a scene right out of Frosty the Snowman, hit one with a fire spell and watch them melt. Totally pointless, but like I said before, pretty satisfying. And finally, at number 1, the Basilisk. There are a lot of Chamber of Secrets Easter eggs in the game, but this is probably the craziest, for lack of a better word, I guess. In the Slytherin common room, if you look up at the girls' dorms, you can sometimes rarely see this giant basilisk pass by the hall. How this triggers is anybody's guess. Some say you have to be looking at it right, some say at night, but you also have to be a boy, so you can't access that part of the dorm. It's honestly hard to say, but it's a crazy little secret that just happens randomly in the common room. They had to make new assets just for this, and it's something that's only on screen for a couple of seconds. Twitter user CassielJA managed to get a video of this rare sighting, so all credit goes to them for seeing this, because I completely missed it.
And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero, and we'll see you next time right here on Gameranx.